Imagine discovering a notebook written more than 500 years ago. Inside, you find detailed sketches of helicopters, tanks, and mechanical gears. These designs were drawn long before electricity, airplanes, or the Industrial Revolution. They exist as a technological anomaly, created centuries before the engineering required to build them was even invented. The creator was a 15th century painter and scientist named Leonardo da Vinci. This is the story of how one man living in the 1400s managed to imagine the future before it arrived. Born in 1452 near the village of Vinci, Italy, Leonardo grew up in a world of rote memorization. He rejected it. He preferred to understand how the world functioned through direct observation. He spent hours in nature, asking why birds fly, how water flows, and why the sky is blue. He recorded these observations in notebooks that he carried everywhere. These pages became his personal laboratory, a place to capture every question and imagined invention. To Leonardo, genius was the discipline of asking better questions to observe reality more deeply. This relentless curiosity pushed him to investigate the mysteries of nature in ways that were considered dangerous and highly illegal. Today, we use MRI scans and advanced imaging to see inside ourselves. In the 15th century, medical science was largely guesswork. Leonardo wanted to understand the internal mechanics of the human body. To find answers, he spent his nights secretly dissecting human corpses. He produced detailed diagrams of muscles, bones, and the circulatory system. These drawings were so accurate that modern doctors still study their precision. He analyzed the human form as a series of biological systems, trying to decipher the specific mechanics of movement. Treating the body as a mechanical puzzle gave him medical insights hundreds of years ahead of his time, and directly influenced his designs for actual machines. To solve the ancient dream of flight, Leonardo applied a methodical, scientific approach to observing how birds move their wings and maintain balance in the air. He translated those biological movements into mechanical designs, including gliders and a concept for an aerial screw, which functioned much like a modern helicopter. The materials of his era, wood, leather, and silk, were too heavy for flight. Yet Leonardo was practicing aviation science 400 years before the Wright brothers. He also designed armored vehicles and heavy machinery, using a problem-solving approach to improve military and construction technology. His sketches for these multi-directional weapon platforms became the conceptual basis for modern armored warfare. These designs show a mind that was constantly searching for a more efficient way to solve physical problems. Leonardo's artistic legacy remains the most recognizable in history. This level of fame is a result of his scientific application of light and shadow. He developed a technique called sfumato, creating imperceptible transitions on the canvas that mimicked the way light naturally wraps around an object. This makes the subject's expression feel alive and shifting. The smile appears to change depending on the viewer's perspective. In his painting of the Last Supper, Leonardo moved away from the static, stiff figures common in religious art. He mapped out a silent story of varied human reactions, shock, fear, and confusion, creating a sense of motion through psychology. These works endure because Leonardo understood that people connect with emotion over mere imagery. The Codex Leicester is the most significant of Leonardo's notebooks. It contains his advanced thinking on astronomy, geology, and the behavior of water. In 1994, Bill Gates purchased this manuscript for over $30 million. The Codex is a direct window into a complex, interdisciplinary thinking system, a record of how one man analyzed the entire world. Leonardo's success was built on a foundation of deep observation. He trained himself to see details that others ignored. He refused to separate knowledge into boxes. To him, science and art were the same pursuit. Innovation happened when these different fields were allowed to collide. His life provides 5 lessons for modern life. Stay curious, observe deeply, write things down, experiment constantly, and connect different fields. Leonardo worked in a world without the internet, modern medicine, or the materials required to build his designs. Even without the tools of the future, he possessed the curiosity required to first imagine them. History shows what one curious mind can accomplish. 5 centuries later, the world is still catching up to the imagination of Leonardo da Vinci.